Hey there, this is Pastor Omar Anaya here at E-Free Church, and today I'm joined by
Roger Schmidgall.
Yes, Roger Schmidgall has been on our missions team for how many years now, Roger?
22 years.
22 years. That's incredible. That's awesome. And today what we're here to talk to you about is Israel. Roger's been going to Israel for quite a bit of time, for a lot of time, and it's just quite an incredible experience. I think you've heard Pastor Rick before talk about this. He went on this trip before. So Roger, can you tell us a little bit about what the Israel trip is about, what the experience is like, and any just important details about the trip? I know you got to go not too long ago, so how was it? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, a group of us were just there last month in March, and not everybody wants to go to Israel, but many people do. And there's lots of good reasons to go.
Yeah.
Some people have described it as the fifth gospel. It's a way to add a new dimension to our study of the Bible and the stories of the Bible. And I volunteer as the administrator at Bible Telling right here in Bloomington Normal. And one of the things we get to do is to take people to Israel and travel to about 45 different sites.
Wow.
And the unique thing about our trips to Israel, we call them seminars, because the participants will actually tell Bible stories, about 100 of them, on those 45 locations where those stories occurred.
Wow.
And it's just a neat way to really get into the sites and the culture, the geography, the history behind those stories.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
Unfortunately, it does take money and time. And so our trips are generally at least 2 weeks. We have an optional extension into Jordan, which makes it a little longer than 2 weeks.
Okay.
And it costs anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 depending on where you go,
Sure.
what the airline costs are at the time. So it is expensive. People need to save in advance to afford this.
Yeah.
Need to save up vacation time to be able to take the time. And there's a lot of physical exercise involved. There's a lot of steps.
Is that right?
10
How
to
so?
15,000 steps a day.
10 to 15,000 steps. Wow.
Or more. And it's not all level there like it is here in Central Illinois. It's quite uneven.
Sure.
A lot of climbing, a lot of walking.
Yeah.
So don't wait too late. You know, a lot of people wait till retirement to do a trip like this. But if you wait till you're in your 80s or so, it may be too late for you to physically accomplish some of these things. So plan ahead.
Yeah. It sounds like an incredible trip. I think once in a lifetime trip. And like you mentioned, the ability to be at some of the sites we've read in scripture, this is where this happened, and tell the story there. It sounds like an awesome experience. So let me ask you this. If anyone listening and who's like curious, hey, you know, that's something that they may be on the fence about. It sounds really interesting. Why would you recommend this trip to anybody? Why should anyone say, you know what, I should save up for this, I should save vacation time, I should save money to go on a trip like this? Why would you recommend it?
I think there are lots of opportunities to go to Israel with lots of different tour companies. I'm partial to the one where I work, but I think it is unique in that it involves each of us. Each participant learns 3, 4, 5 stories, not memorizing them, but learning them in a simplified English form.
Sure.
In fact, we publish a book called Stories to be Told.
Awesome. Yeah.
Which has all of the books, all of the stories that are going to be told.
Okay.
Crafted in simplified English for our participants. And everybody's in the same boat. Mm-hmm. So everybody on the team, 20, 30 people, have learned 3, 4, 5 stories, practiced the stories before they went.
Wow.
And then share them with the group on location.
Wow.
And it's just a really neat way to make it not a vacation, but a very enjoyable learning experience.
Yeah. Wow.
We also produce a couple of booklets. This is our seminar guide, which identifies where we go with maps and a list of the storytellers and the stories we told, and then a reference guide that's not specific to our trip, but it's a persistent Bible study guide with maps and charts and even aerial photographs of the places we will be visiting.
Yeah.
It's a nice keepsake to study after you get back home.
Yeah, wow, that sounds awesome, incredible. And if you're interested in this trip, who can they contact? I know this is happening every year, right? So every year or I don't know how.
We've actually got another trip going in October.
In October, wow.
I'm not going to be on that one, but a pastor from Missouri is going to be leading that trip, and people are welcome to join his congregation and his travelers as well. Okay. But generally in March or April. And then maybe again in October, November, we have groups going.
Yeah.
And you can contact me at rogerschmidgall@yahoo.com.
Okay.
Or I'll be in the church directory if you want to contact me that way.
Yeah.
Or our website, BibleTelling.org.
BibleTelling.org. All right. Well, thank you so much, Roger, for talking a little bit about this. And like I said, if you're interested, contact Roger. This is just another opportunity to serve and just to go in and quite an experience to Israel. That's something that I personally want to do someday. I haven't been there, but if you are interested in knowing more or how to get connected, reach out to Roger at his email, and that's the way to go. So thanks, Roger, for being with us. Yeah, we hope you enjoy this little recap video of Israel. Thank you.